host, Susanna May O'Hagan, and today we're going to be talking about Sylvia Browne. In a recap, Sylvia Browne was an American writer, medium, and psychic. She appeared regularly on television and radio, including the Moto Lynn Show and Larry King Live, and hosted an hour-long online radio show on Hay House Radio. Okay, and we're going to go to this part. Sylvia said she's not dead. What bothers me? Now I've never heard of this before, but she was taken and put into some kind of slavery thing, taken into Japan. Kukour Motel, Williams asked after a moment's stunned silence. So she was taken and put on some kind of boat or plane and taken into a white saberly, Sylvia said. Opal's grandmother looked strained and confused. Opal's body was eventually found buried in Fort Worth, Texas. She had the pathologist conclude been murdered the night she went missing. A local man, Richard Lee Franks, was convicted. Moto Williams was once asked in a radio interview why he has Sylvia Browne on his show. He said, "She's great. She's a funny character. She's hysterical. She doesn't seem practically hysterical to me." Thanks to Motel, Sylvia Browne's books, such as Adventures of a Psychic, are forever on the bestseller list. She's the queen of psychics, but there are sources of pretenders out there. If it happens every time a child is missing, Mark Klaus told me in a telephone conversation shortly before the cruise began, I called them the second wave of predators. First you lose your child, and these people dissect. Every time it happens to Mark, in October 1993, his 12-year-old daughter, Polly, I thought I recognized your name. You are Polly Klaus's father. That sweet poor girl. But when I heard Klaus, I was thinking, this sounds familiar. Should have said it right then and there. It was Polly Klaus's father. Had two friends around for a sleepover at their California home. At 10:30 p.m., she opened her bedroom door to find a man standing there with a knife. He tied up the girls, told them to count to 1,000, and took Polly away. For the next 2 months, before Polly's body was eventually found, she had been assaulted. Mark was indicated with authors from Psychic. I was insulted from most of them by family and police. Excluded? He said, but there had to be at least a dozen I personally dealt with. They hope you'll pay them, and they hope they'll get really, really lucky and make a guess so close to a truth they could say that they sold it. Mark, in his description, did consult a psychic. He said she got it wrong, but nonetheless later took credit for psychically locating Polly's body. You become increasingly desperate and afraid, he said. Every day the police don't find your child. You think they're not doing their job. So you go elsewhere, and psychics put themselves out there as a very valuable solution. This is why Mark said he's not surprised at reports that Madeleine McCann's parents are considering consulting a psychic called Gordon Smith. Friends of the family have already contacted Smith, who's a host on living TV's Most Haunted. According to a Daily Mail article on October 2nd, the McCannons have received 1,000 psychic tip-offs since May. I suppose it feels invaluable they will eventually succumb. Sylvia Browne doesn't solicit, such is her fame. Distraught parents go to her. Most famously, Sean Hornbeck's parents went to her. On October 6, 2002, 11-year-old Sean disappeared while riding his bike to a friend's house in Missouri. 4 months of frantic and heartbreaking search later, his parents went on Montel. Oh, it's Montel Williams. I keep saying motel. I could be wrong. Is it Motel Williams or Montel? Whatever. Is he still with us? Asked Pam, Sean's mother. No, said Sylvia. Pam broke down. Sylvia said Sean was buried beneath 2 jagged boulders. 4 years later, in January this year, Sean was found alive and well and living with his alleged abductor, Michael Vaughn in Kirkwood, Missouri. This miracle happy ending became headline news across the U.S. Sean's parents told journalists that one of their lowest points was when Sylvia Browne told them their boy was dead. Hearing that, his father, Craig, told CNN was one of the hardest things we ever had to hear. Sylvia Browne doesn't give interviews, especially not since the Sean incident. She's turned down CNN's Andrew Cooper, Larry King, ABC, and so on. A few months ago, I logged on to her website, Why Won't You Give Interviews? And I thought, staring mournfully at her photograph, she looks and sounds like a worldly dame you'd meet in a bar in a Danish Hamlet novella. I don't know what that is. Danielle. Whatever. Then I noticed an announcement on her page. Sylvia was to be a guest lecturer on a cruise around the Mediterranean in late September. Fans could sign up for 4 lectures and a cocktail party. She must talk to me if we're stuck on a ship together, I thought. And so, impulsively, I booked myself on the cruise. Dad, you're really, going for it. Okay, before we continue with this cruise, I want to see if we have any other new information on these parts. And, yep. Well, this is gonna work. Okay, Sylvia Browne's false lash out a psychic of false Ohio abductions. American crime. Okay. Sylvia Browne's History of Failures, the most extensive study of alleged psychic Sylvia Browne predictions about missing persons and murder case resolves estranged. Despite her repeated claims to be more than 85% correct, it seems that Browne has not even been mostly correct about a single case. One difficulty in judging the accuracy of the psychic in the vagueness of their readings, which are often so general that they are worthless. Psychics who offer readings about missing persons and murder cases, however, allow researchers to examine their accuracy with independent information. When Sylvia was a weekly guest on the Montel Williams show, why did I think it was the Motel Williams show? Jeez. I'm losing my mind. And I gotta say, this thing looks like it was made on, MySpace years ago. It's giving me, a little woo. I might not stay on here for long, because it's a lot. Okay. She performed supposed feats ranging from ghost detecting to offering details about missing persons and murder cases. Among the things Browne failed to predict was the availability of those transcripts on the investigation. The author investigation from ghost detecting. Where am I? I've lost my place. Okay. On the internet, through debaters such as Lexi Nix, the author, as well as several members of the James Education Foundation Forum of StopSylvia.com closely examined each transcript to track down Browne's accuracy. According to Browne, my accuracy rate is somewhere between 87 and 90%. If I'm recalling correctly, this article disputes that by examining the criminal case from which Browne has performed readings, the search demonstrates that in 115 cases, Browne's confirmed accuracy was 0%. Okay, I'm trying to see. Sometimes Browne is not only wrong, but also tells suffering families horrible things. In 1999, Browne did a reading for Opal, grandmother who wanted to know what happened to Jennings, the 6-year-old abducted from her front yard in Texas. Browne told the grandmother she's not dead, but what bothers me, okay. This person, Holly, was a similar case, one of which Browne needlessly tainted the memory of a family's loved one on national television in 2002. Browne told Holly's mother she is in Los Angeles, and when she was calling you, she was on drugs. But when she's still alive, Browne said. But she's still alive. Browne also said that the girl was a dancer in an adult entertainment club, and you might get a Christmas card postmarked Los Angeles. Holly's family made regular visits to Los Angeles area, scanning the clubs for their missing loved one. But no avail. Holly's mother, Gwen, died of an aneurysm in 2003. 3 years later, Holly's body was identified, and it turned out Holly was murdered, and her body was discovered in 1996. The remains were only identified as Holly in 2006 after sitting in the medical examiner's office for 10 years. Okay, someone needs to talk to these examiners. That's not okay. Needless to say, Browne was completely wrong in every aspect of the case, and her an allegedly devastated family. In a 2006 appearance on Montel Brown, did a reading about Robert Haynes, who was serving in the Army National Guard when he was killed at an ATM. Browne told Haynes' crime fiancé that he met a man as a casino who took Haynes, then robbed him to get the casino winnings. The police later found that although Haynes told his fiancée he was going to a casino, he actually went to meet another woman, and there are no reports in the press about him being at a casino. In fact, Haynes was the victim of a conspiracy by 4 people, including a local beauty queen, who lured Haynes to meet her so she could rob him. Browne said Haynes was shot 3 times. I don't know. He was shot in the head. The police never said that. The fiancé then added that the police said he got shot in the hand. Yeah. I don't know. He was shot in the head, but it was in the hand. Jeez. When asked if the case would be solved, Browne said, yeah, but it's going to take them at least a good 2 years. However, the police announced they arrested 4 people in connection with the murder on April 11, 2006. The first airing of Browne's prediction occurred on April 26, 2006. Browne was wrong about who did it, the conspiracy, where he was shot, and who was involved. Okay, we'll do part whatever. Because I don't want to make these overly long. So we will do another part. I didn't think I had this much for her. But this is interesting. I hope you all enjoy learning about Sylvia Browne.